Hi everyone, this is Philip, your Network Tech Pinoy, and today I'm going to show you how to configure basic VoIP lab. But before we start, let's review first our network diagram, including the devices that we're going to use. For the switch, we're going to use C2950-T 24. For the router, 1841, call manager, 2811. Now we have here three, uh, three PC and three IP phones. The IP address that we're going to use for our native VLAN is VLAN 1, it's 192.168.1.0/24. For the VLAN 100, it is our data, its name of our data, IP address 192.168.100.0/24. For our VLAN 200, its name for our voice, IP address is 192.168.200.0. So let's start to connect now our devices. DHCP server, DHCP router fast Ethernet 0/0. We're going to connect it to switch fast Ethernet 0/23. Now call manager fast Ethernet 0/0. We're going to connect it to switch fast Ethernet 0/24. Let's configure first our switch. ConFT, we should allocate first our VLAN, VLAN 100, its name for voice, data, VLAN 200, name for voice, do show VLAN. Okay. Then let's configure the specific interface and assign it to the specific VLAN. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1 until range 20. Switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 100, switch port voice VLAN 200, spanning tree port fast, spanning tree BPDU guard enabled. Let's configure our interface VLAN 1 IP address 192.168.1.200, 255.255.255.0, no shutdown. Now let's configure our interface FA/0/23, IP address, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 1, 100, 200. Switch port trunk native VLAN 1, no shutdown. Interface FA/0/24, switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 1, 100, 200. Switch port trunk native VLAN 1. Okay, let's save our config. Then let's configure our DHCP server. Host name, let's name it DHCP server. Let's configure first the fast Ethernet 0/0. No shutdown. Interface FA 0/0/.1. No shutdown. Encapsulations .1q 1 native. Interface FA 0/0.100. Encapsulations .1q 100. IP address 192.168.100.254. 255.255.255.0. Interface FA 0/0.200. IP address encapsulations .1q 200. IP address 192.168.200.254. 255.255.255.0. Do show IP interface brief. I forgot to put in our native VLAN in FA/0/0.1. So let's configure that. IP address 192.168.1.254. 255.255.255.0. Do show IP interface brief. Okay. So let's configure now our IP DHCP exclusions. To do that, IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.100.100 to 192.168.100.254. IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.200.100. 192.168.200.254. Now let's configure our DHCP pool. IP DHCP pool for data. Network 192.168.100.0. 255.255.255.0 subnet mask. Default route 192.168.100.254. DNS, we're just going to made it up because hindi natin na-configure. 192.168.100.100. IP DHCP pool voice network 192.168.200.0. 255.255.255.0. Default route 192.168.200.254. DNS 192.168.100.100. Do show run. Begin with IP DHCP pool. Okay. And we have to add it also options 150, 192.168, the 200.253. Okay, it is our pointed to our call manager. So let's try if we can ping the SVI of switch 1, ping 192.168.1.200. Okay, so let's save our config. So let's configure our call manager. Conft hostname call manager. Interface FA 0/0, no shutdown. Interface FA 0/0.200. Encapsulations that 1Q 200, and we're going to give it IP address of 192.168.200.253, 255.255.255.0. Let's ping our DHCP server. Do ping 192.168.200.254. Let's configure our telephony services. A phone 3 max DN 3 IP source address 192.168.200.253 port 2000. Auto assign 1, 2, 3. A phone DN1 number. Let's assign the local number 1, 2, 3, 4. A phone DN2 number 5, 6, 7, 8. A phone DN3 number 9, 1, 2, 3. A phone 1 MAC address. We will statically configure the MAC address in IP phone 1. Type 796 7960 button 1:1. A phone 2 MAC address. We'll put the MAC address of IP phone 2. Button 1:2. A phone 3 MAC address, and then for IP phone 3 button 1:3. Okay, let's try to connect our devices. if it's obtaining the IP address. PC1, fast Ethernet to IP phone, IP phone to switch. PC2, fast Ethernet to IP phone, IP phone to switch. PC3 to IP phone, IP phone to switch. Let's check the PC if it's obtaining the IP address. Yes, it's obtaining now. We'll check PC2 as well. It's obtaining. PC3, and it's obtaining also. Let's check IP phone 1, the specific number, local number that it was assigned. Still configuring. Okay. The IP phone 3 obtained the local number of 9123. IP phone 2, IP phone 1 obtained the local number of 1234, and the IP phone 2 obtained the number of 5678. Okay, let's test IP phone 1 to call to contact to or to contact to IP phone 3. Nine one two three. Yeah, it's successfully contacting. Then we will try to call IP phone 2 to IP phone 1. One, two, three, four. So it is successfully ringing. So guys, we're successfully configured our VoIP lab. If you like my video, uh, please do subscribe, like, and share. God bless everyone.